Have you ever felt that you are living below your potential? As if there was something inside you shouting for change, but trapped in a mental routine that sabots you? The truth is that it is not the outside world that limits you, it is your own mind that has been repeating the same schedules for years. What if I told you that you are a decision to awaken such a powerful version that it scares who never believed you? Yeah, it's closer than you imagine. There are people who bother to see you thinking differently. Because when you awaken your mind, you are no longer predictable, controllable, and start to be noted. But this awakening doesn't happen from the outside. It is not with a new job, with a zero car or another course in the curriculum. The true transformation is internal, silent, but so deep that it changes everything around. And who knows you, feels something has changed in you. This change has a name. It is methane. A strong word, almost unknown, but it means something simple: a complete renewal of the mind. And it's not mystical talk, no. It is science, it is spirituality, and it is practical. When your mindset changes, your decisions change. And when your decisions change, your life transforms. Point. But there's a detail that almost no one speaks: awakening the mind hurts. It hurts because it requires getting out of the comfort zone, facing their own beliefs and abandoning old versions. And no one prepared us for that. They taught us to survive, following the average, to be afraid of making mistakes. But they never taught us to think consciously, to question the automatic, to create a new inner identity. Today, I will show you how to start this transformation. And more than that, I'll show you why it is essential to do it now, not 5 years from now. Because if you do not awaken your mind, someone will program it for you. And believe me, the world is full of ecosystems ready to keep you in limitation and autopilot. Now, take a deep breath. If you have gotten here, it is because your mind has already started to move. And this is a great sign. The journey that begins now is not about becoming someone else, but about becoming what you have always been before distractions, fears, and limiting beliefs. Prepared to pull your new version from within? So let's go. If there is one thing that nobody told you, right, is that you don't solve problem by changing the scenario, it solves changing the operating system of your mind. Getting out of a toxic job, ending a bad relationship, changing town. You can even give a relief. But if your mindset remains the same, so the same standards come back with another name, another face, another address. Because the problem is not just the place, it is the lens you see life with. The mind is like a blurry lens. If you don't clean it, it will interpret everything in a distorted way. And that's where the danger lives. We blame the world, the economy, the others, and do not realize that the solutions are stuck inside. Have you seen someone sabotaging an amazing opportunity just for fear of not deserving? This is not unlucky, it is a programmed mentality in scarcity. And it acts on automatic. The big key turn begins when you understand that true transformation is not outsourced. It's no use waiting for anyone to save you, motivate you, or give you a push. Real power is to take responsibility for its own thought. When you change the way of thinking, it changes the way of reacting. And when it changes, everything around you is repositioned. Do you know that phrase, the mind that created the problem is not the same that will solve it? It is more real than it seems. The thoughts that put you in this hole are old acquaintances and keep hearing they won't get you out of there. You need to have the courage to question what has always been truth in your head. The transformation begins with a good deal of discomfort and a pinch of mental rebellion. It is not easy, but it is possible. And that's why so many people are still trapped in the same cycle for years, because she prefers the well-known painful to the unknown liberator. Methane, this deep renewal of the mind, requires openness. It requires you to stop trying to solve everything with external force and start cultivating an inner force. It is like changing the instruction manual of life for something more aligned with its essence. And here comes the best part: when you change inside, the solutions begin to appear almost as magic. But it's not magic, it's alignment. It is your new version by accessing ideas, resources, and decisions that were once out of your radar. Solving external problems begins with internal reform. And this renovation, my friend, just depends on you. Do you know that feeling that you were born for more, but you live in a almost? This happens when its inner version is outdated in relation to its purpose. It's like trying to run a new application in an old system. It just doesn't work. Therefore, wearing a new version of yourself is so urgent. It is neither theater nor pretense. It is a conscious process of mental and spiritual update. Pulls from you a new version. This phrase may seem only symbolic, but it has more true than it seems. Because its strongest, prosperous, bold and aligned version with the purpose. It already exists. She doesn't have to be created from scratch. She needs to be revealed. But for that to happen, you have to stop clinging to the limited self that was shaped by fears, trauma and repetitions. The version you are wearing today may be sabotaging your chances of growth. Maybe she is shaped by beliefs like "this is not for me, I'm very old for that," or "I don't have what is needed." But if this version is not taking you forward, then it needs to be retired. It is hard to admit, but necessary. No one lives the extraordinary with a mindset that only knows how to survive. Imagine what would happen if for 4 months you take a new version, disciplined, confident, with clear vision and unshakable faith. What could you conquer in such a short time? A lot of people stuck a whole decade because it insists on operating with the old self. But when you change your inside, it seems to conspire in time. A new version accelerates processes that once seemed impossible. This process does not require you to become someone else, but you align with those who have always been before interference. It's like polishing a mud-covered diamond. The essence is already valuable, but it needs care and decision to shine. And most interesting is that when you change inside, the world begins to respond differently. Opportunities, connections and ideas that once seemed inaccessible begin to emerge. The new version begins with small choices: waking up early, changing speech, seeking new environments, studying something new, surrounding if you challenge you. Each action is a piece of this new identity forming. You can choose to continue where you are, repeating patterns. Or you can wear the version that will take you beyond. And believe me, who has underestimated you today, will wonder tomorrow how you managed to change so much. If you really want to change, you need to start looking at the places where your time passes. Places are not neutral, they carry energy, stories, and beliefs. Staying in a wrong atmosphere is like trying to run with a weight tied to your feet. It is impossible to take big steps when the floor where you step pulls you down. And yes, places shape your mindset without you realizing it. Environments create experiences. Experiences generate memories. And memories become beliefs. Have you ever wondered how to grow in a place of poverty and scarcity can record in the subconscious phrases like "money is difficult" or "can't to dream loud"? This does not mean that you need to abandon your roots, but should expose yourself to expanding environments, not that they compress you. Want to see a practical example? Go to a high-standard restaurant, even if it's just for a coffee. Spend an afternoon in a bookstore full of books that speak of success, self-knowledge and financial abundance. Take a walk in neighborhoods with houses that look unreachable and ask yourself, what do I need to learn to deserve to be here? These little contacts with certain places activate something powerful in your mind. The opposite is also real. Wrong places intoxicate their progress. If you spend most of the time in environments that only reinforce complaints, problems, and lack, your mind will adapt to this frequency. And it's no use thinking it's immune. The social contagion of the environment is as strong as that of people. Therefore, take care of the mental territory that is being built around you. Right places are not just physical. They can also be virtual. What you consume on the internet directly influences your worldview. Following negative pages, watching videos that reinforce fear and scarcity, all of this shapes your mindset. Now imagine if you start attending digital places that talk about abundance, overcoming and transformation. The difference is brutal. So make a conscious choice. Look for environments that already breathe the life you want to live. Right places are forcing you to grow because they show you a new standard, a new reference. And in metanoia, changing the environment is the first step to pull the new version from within. You are the average of the 5 people with whom you live most. I've heard that, right? But perhaps still underestimate how true this is. People are like Wi-Fi without you realizing it, your mind connects to their frequency. If this frequency is scarcity, complaint, victimization, guess what you start replicating? Now, if the group vibrates in rich mindset, action, faith and overcoming, everything changes. Scientifically, this has a name: social contagion. Studies show that habits, emotions and even financial decisions are contagious. If your circle lives in indebted, it is more likely that you also accept this pattern as normal. If everyone around them has low ambition, dreaming loudly begins to look arrogance. This is why the ecosystem always wins. Always. Want to do a simple test? Tell you a great goal for someone from your current circle. If the answer is a skeptical laugh or I think it's better not to dream so much, you know this environment will limit your future version. On the other hand, if you share a bold idea and someone answers, how can I help you with it? Congratulations, you found a right person. And maybe you don't need many. Just a certain connection to speed up your transformation. The right people do not need to be perfect, rich or famous. They need to be thirsty for evolution. Being surrounded by those who think loudly, assumes responsibility, speaks of ideas instead of people. It's pure fuel to your mind. Sometimes, just hearing a conversation between advanced minds, you feel that something inside you has been activated. And it was you accessed another level of thought. If you don't find these people in person, look online. Watch videos, listen to podcasts, read books from authors who are already where you want to go. Change an hour of shallow conversation for 30 minutes of immersion with a bright mind. This is more powerful than it seems. The new version you want to live is already being practiced by someone. Just get closer to the right frequency. In the end, the question is simple: who is helping you evolve and who is crashing you without even realizing it? Not everyone will accompany you in the process of methane. And it's okay. Sometimes transformation requires a period of selective loneliness. Because it is in this silence, far from noise, that you begin to attract those who vibrate in the same mindset you are developing. It's no use being in the right place with the right people if you keep feeding your mind with shallow or distorted information. The right knowledge is one that generates movement. It is not enough to accumulate phrases of effect or decorate theories. You need content that provoke action, belief review, and especially practical transformation. Knowledge that does not generate attitude is just entertainment. The difference between common knowledge and right knowledge is the impact it has. A video, a sentence, a book can turn the key to your life if consumed at the right time, with the right mind. And more with disposition to apply. How many people do you know that they know everything, but they are packaged in the same place? This is because knowing, by itself, does not change anything. Practice changes everything. To change the mindset, you need to seek knowledge that confronts you, that bothers you, that makes you question the way you live today. This does not mean that you have to turn a hermit from books, but you need to choose well what goes into your mind. Another point: the right knowledge needs to be aligned with its new version, not with its old standards. This means that not all content is for you, even if it is fashionable. You may be intelligent, but feed your mind with limiting beliefs disguised as realism will continue to plant scarcity. Knowing that you elevates you is the one who challenges you to think like the one who has already arrived there. Oh, and it does not underestimate the power to learn from those who already live what you are looking for. Mentors, coaches, even conscious influencers can offer you valuable shortcuts. Do you know that phrase, can you learn from your own mistakes, but it's faster to learn from the mistakes of others? She is the pure truth. Right knowledge shortens the way, avoids falling and accelerates the new reality you want so much. And remember, the best knowledge of the world does not work if it is planted on arid soil. This is why he needs to be connected to the previous 2 pillars: place and people. A powerful insight can be lost in an environment that chokes growth. Simple knowledge can become gold when it falls into a thirsty mind, surrounded by the right people and ecosystems. Everything connects. The time has come to gather all the pieces of the puzzle. Methane is not a mystical event, nor a magical change that happens out of nowhere. It is a daily decision to transform your mindset and, with it, all your life. The good news is you don't have to turn someone else overnight. But yes, it needs to commit to your next best version. This is more than enough to start the turn. Want to grow really? So start with courage. Get out of environments that keep you small. You don't have to scandal or cut ties with everyone, but urgently you need to reconnect to places that expand. Then surround yourself with people who already live with a higher mindset. You don't have to have them all physically around, but you need to have access to the frequency they make. The third piece of the model is the right knowledge. Invest in books that challenge you, consume content that generate action and especially apply. It's no use watching 10 videos about financial abundance if, in practice, you keep cultivating shortages of scarcity. Methane does not happen in theory, it reveals itself in its daily decisions, in its habits, in its new pattern of thought. Do not try to climb to the top at once. This generates anxiety and self-sabotage. Instead, mire in your next best place. One step above already changes the landscape. Then another. And one more. This shot of transformation is more sustainable than trying to make a quantum leap unpaid. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, you just need to honor your version that you know more. The methane process also requires patience and repetition. The renewal of the mind is like bodybuilding, it is not enough to lift weight once and wait for a result. You have to repeat, adjust, persist. It will have a difficult day, relapse, doubts. But consistency overcomes chaos. A new self requires a new environment, new relationships, and new codes of thought, and this is built a brick a day. So what will be your choice? Continue operating with the limited version that the world formatted for you? Or take the protagonism and finally where you're abundant, bold, strong, and ready to thrive? The path is already outlined. The model is before you. Now only one thing is missing: decision. Now that you know the way from metanoia, the question is simple: what are you going to do with it? Will you close this video and follow with the same thoughts as always? Or will it take the first step, even small, towards your new version? Remember, it's not about changing everything at once. It's about changing something that changes everything. What kind of mindset is you feeding? Does it bring you closer to the life you want, or just keep you comfortable in what is already known? What's more, what places, people and content can you choose differently from today? The transformation does not start next month, even next Monday. It starts now. Ask yourself, who am I becoming? Will this version of myself live on autopilot, will take me where I want to go? Or are you just protecting me from the pain of growing? Sometimes all you need is an inner push. A silent decision. A break with the old mind. Remember what we said at the beginning? There is a version of you that scares those who doubted you. A strong, brave version, connected with purpose and abundance. She is already inside, hoping to be activated. And believe me, when you become who was born to be, the world reorganizes around you. If this content has made sense to you, it is because your mind has already started to move. So keep this frequency. Subscribe to the channel now, activate notifications and follow the next videos. Here you will find a transformation ecosystem with knowledge, direction and inspiration to live your new reality. Your methane can inspire other people as well. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this. Because when one wakes up, others awaken together. And that's how the change spreads. The world needs its best version, and it starts with a simple decision: click.